Annual salary extension in NBA history at $72.5 million, passing MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's deal earlier this offseason. Booker has averaged at least 25 points in each of the past 7 seasons, joining Giannis as the only NBA players to do it. Put up 25 points and a career-high 7 assists last year. Ladies semifinal at Wimbledon. Top seed Arina Sabalenka, number 13, Amanda Anisimova. Anisimova taking the first set 6-4. They're on serve 3-3 in the second. Anisimova looking to become the youngest American to reach a major final since Serena Williams.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97 and The Zone. Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Swung on, lifted, deep left, back goes O'Donnell, he looks up, it's done, and it's over! Denzer again, the goose is loose!
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe on 2 hours straight of sports talk, goose gaps, all that good stuff here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZN TV, as well as up in Tennessee on WCDT, where we open up the lines for all of those listening. 256-576-97.7, the number to get in. And I want to say, Joe, my nose will start clearing up here in a second. I'm a little bit nasally. I'm a little bit sick. The sickness is officially hit in. Might have to go and see TOC or SportsMed or one of those wonderful, wonderful healthcare providers. But I still show up, okay? I still show up. Doesn't matter how sick I am. I could be laying on the ground. I'd still be talking into a mic.
Yeah, you're right.
Mute your stuff over there,
I was
Joe.
listening beforehand, checking some audio stuff, and I totally forgot to turn that down.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's a Joe mess up right there.
I show up similar to the show sponsors, and those are, of course, the great people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. There's supposed to be a little bit of rain in the forecast throughout the rest of the week, so make sure you guys rest assured with a secure roof above your head, and you can find that with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. And similar to me showing up and Fleming showing up, 97.7 will be showing up in Atlanta next week at SEC Media Days, where we will bring you the full coverage on location, coach interviews, hopefully nothing presented by Copilot, Microsoft, and all of that good stuff.
Oh, wait, no, I was about to say, what about Copilot? No, if it was this show, it'd be powered by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We'd totally be powered by them, which is
at least
Microsoft Copilot, I'm pretty sure that they also use, everybody has the ChatGPT as part of it. I've started kind of dabbling in another app. It's like Galaxy AI or something.
There's so many AI services out there.
Well, there are. And so like the ChatGPT one's the main one I use.
Yeah.
But like some other apps like Galaxy and all that, they have other features that you can hop in that are a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out which one is the best one. So I do a lot of, hey, I'll try your free trial for 3 days. And then I make sure to cancel it right when I start it.
It's all about implementing the certain ones that do the best at certain things. Okay, so if they have image generation, you use them over maybe a ChatGPT. I would look at the Google 3.0 that they got. I know we're not experts at AI, but we're pretty knowledgeable at this point. But we use our real voices, okay? And this is something that YouTube is actually going to lay the law down on. You're not going to be able to get paid if you use fake voices, of course, AI voices
that's
on
gonna
top of
screw
that,
some people.
fake images as well. A lot of people are going to get screwed over on that. But
I
at the
can't
same
tell
time,
you how many TikToks, like you click on it and it'll be this video and it'll have like 500,000 likes and it'll be like,
yeah.
it'll say, you will never believe the feeling that I got after watching this video. And you're just, and it's those, there's pyramid schemes and pirate schemes that you have all over social media now, including like go to YouTube. And those is, hey, you can do a faceless YouTube channel and this is how you do it. And it's AI voices and you do all this. And you never have to show your face.
Just a few clicks.
Exactly. And this is the future. So this is the future until we figure out a way to go, you really have to utilize your voice and talk, and that's it, instead of putting the script into an AI generator.
As a YouTuber myself, I'm all for this, Joe. I very much am. But at the same time, feel bad for people who may not be able to show their face or talk at the way that they want to talk.
That's on them.
Utilizing
that's where skill is involved in this. I'm not a writer.
We're not handing out participation trophies, damn it.
No, like I'm not a writer. I know this. Okay. So I don't expect to be hired by, the Wall Street Journal just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know how to do it. So I'm not going to be like, oh, hey guys, how about I go get the information? I'll throw it into an AI generator. I'll let that write the article.
It's a good point, Joe.
And then boom, there's your copy.
There are some websites out there that like to throw out those AI articles though. And you can tell they are AI. Similar to, you can tell whenever there's a voice that's AI because they all sound like, I was about to say they all sound like this, but that's my voice, so I can't really say that.
They all, you can tell the AI generated voices because if you watch enough TikToks or anything, you start to hear the same voice over and over and over.
And there's no imperfections either. There's no stuttering or accidental, I slipped up and said something I wasn't supposed to. There's none of that stuff.
You won't believe this is the top 5 ways that this person or these people died.
No, see, you messed up, so you can't even try.
So see, exactly, because again, it's AI generated.
We are real people. Just wanted you to know that. You're able to talk with real people at 256-576-9777, unlike when you call customer support for most of those companies.
And then right when I open up X, the very first thing that pops up is an ad saying, introducing AI formatting.
Damn it!
It was right
They're listening.
there.
They're listening to us, Joe.
Right there.
You know who's not listening to us? The NFL and some of these teams. I wanted to start out with this just to get it out of the way. What is with teams and thinking that, please, having a blackout uniform or having a whiteout uniform is just the coolest thing ever? Because the New Orleans Saints decided to go with the white helmets. Now they're going to have a white on white on white on white. Joe, there's got to be something better. When it comes to alternative uniforms, you got to be able to do something a little bit more unique, maybe a little bit more creative, I would think. Because it was once before, it was the all-black uniforms. Looks great. I remember the San Francisco 49ers thought it was a great idea to put Colin Kaepernick in a black uniform. Where does that fit in at all with this brand? Now the Saints are going with the white helmet and the rest of their uniforms white. I think it looks cool. But, now I'm just wishing that we had the color rush back.
Well, it's basically what it is the color rush. I mean, look, there's a lot of hits.
White's not a color.
There's some hits. There are a lot of misses, but you got to at least try it. Look, you can make fun of the Saints and the fact that they have the all-white uniforms, but go look at the Bengals all-whites. Those things are legit.
Those
awesome.
those are
awesome. Like those. So you're going to have some misses.
The Browns.
But you're also going to have some that really hit and you go, oh, this is looking good. Like this looks good.
Maybe I just have a bad taste in my mouth because Nick Chubb's leg went backwards whenever he was wearing that all-white uniform against the Steelers 2 years back.
Oh, I remember that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Well, then you have teams like the Washington Commanders that are saying, you know what? We're bringing back a retro look. But what we're really doing, because here's what happens. This is how they do this. Teams, this is a way that baseball teams, football teams, basketball teams have the ability to kind of test some things out. Okay. Let me ask you. I know that I'm not an NBA fan, but I do recognize things like this. For decades, what was the home uniform of the LA Lakers? What color was it?
It was yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
But then what did they do? they introduce like an all white alternate night, like one of those alternate uniforms that they'll wear maybe 2 or 3 games so that they could just sell some more jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, then they notice that people kind of like the uniform and they wear it just a little bit more. And then they wear it a little bit more. And the next thing you know, it casually goes on to this. Teams will slowly start to do this with some of their uniforms and test it out. That is what this is. Now, if you look at Major League Baseball and some of their city uniforms, a lot of them, garbage. Like just, there's no way. Okay.
A little bit too off the wall.
Some of them are very off the wall. Like the Dodgers are never going to go to that one that they've made. The Giants are never going to go to the one they made. Kind of cool, but they're never going to go to it.
I don't think it's cool.
Then you have
the
like
Padres and the Giants have some off the wall ones.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have one this year that's really kind of utilizes their retro colors and it's kind of cool looking.
I jive with anything Arizona's throwing out, and this is the same with the Coyotes back in the NHL. Yeah. Any oddball uniform that Arizona was throwing out, I think was always a hit.
But those uniforms are ways for them to test, okay, how popular would this be? Like with the Braves, everybody loves the retro Braves uniforms, the 70s Hank Aaron uniforms. Like everybody loves those. So they go and they make a city uniform, basically identical. They just change the front. Looks horrible. Like it's
different
horrible.
font.
No, I mean, if you're really going, they didn't dive into it. They kind of pulled in Alabama. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with a different uniform at home. It's not going to be too different, but instead of just having the all white, you're just going to have the little hound's tooth and it's going to be a little bit gray on the numbers. Like it's just a little bit.
Screw it. We'll put the American flag on your shoulders too.
Like that. Like that's, you said, hey, we're doing something, but then you really don't.
I like those uniforms, Joe. Nike cooked on those.
No, they didn't. They didn't cook anything.
There was even a little hound's tooth on the helmet.
I mean, it was just, all it is, you're just like, hey, we're just going to change this right. Do you know what they did? They went into Photoshop and they just clicked on it and they said, boom, insert here. That's all they did. That was it.
It's called being subtle.
Somebody got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for that jersey. And that's dumb.
Also got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to make Seattle Seahawks uniforms.
Exactly. And they've at least used them for decades.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But that is what, if the Atlanta Braves uniforms would have cooked, everybody would have loved them. Look at what the Cubs did. Cubs went with the all navy blue Wrigleyville ones. And then this year, I think it was their turn to come out with some new ones. They had a different type of look to it, and those are more popular.
Yeah.
And so they utilize those just a little bit more.
But does the NFL give the option of those types of uniforms? Because there's the City Connect, there's the retro reverse. Even in basketball, they have their own little City Connect thing. All of those are specifically off the wall trying to sell these new uniforms. The NFL, the only time I remember them doing that was the Color Rush. Let's throw out these odd uniforms. Oh my gosh, the mustard Jaguars uniform for Blake Bortles when they faced the Tennessee Titans.
Good as his play on the field for his career.
Terrible. Hey, he made it to the AFC Championship.
Man had one season, and it was also because he had one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Played Tom Brady,
but like those, yeah. But that's also, look at what the Titans did. Titans had always had the navy blue tops with that. Then they started introducing the Titan blue. They introduced it just a little bit. It became a little bit more popular. Then they started wearing the all blue, and then it became a little bit more popular. Like you start seeing what the reaction is, and that's the way that they dabble into it. With the Saints, they have the option for a second helmet, which is what the NFL has now allowed over the last 2 years. So they go with an all-white helmet, and they have the ability to kind of play around with it a little bit.
They already had the black helmet.
They do have the black helmet.
I thought that was cool.
But at the same time, like it's the team itself, you have to try something to try to see what the city is going to like. And you have the ability to do it through this alternate helmets or in alternate uniforms to see the way that people gravitate towards it or don't. And that's the way that you can go, you know what? If we're going to do a rebrand, if we're going to come out with new uniforms, we can go down this line. Okay. If the Miami Heat ever decided to change their stuff, they could totally lean into what their alternate jerseys were, because those things look awesome. The black with the Miami Vice looking unit, like that was legit.
Those are cool. But every Miami team likes to do that.
But exactly, because it's Miami. If the Marlins wanted to be cool, which they can't really do this, but they would totally lean into the Cuban heritage. the amount, obviously, of Cuban culture that's in the city, that is what you do. I told you when the Braves went down there for that series that was over the weekend, and Friday night there was, players' families only night. I don't know what it was. There was like 100 people there. Then you get to the Saturday game, and the entire outfield is slam packed with people with drums and all this other stuff. Like that is the Cuban culture.
Yeah, there was a party.
If you lean into that a little bit, then you're going to see your fan base grow. Problem is obviously you don't want to change your uniforms too much. Like they, with their City Connect, made it very similar to the Cuban national uniforms. Not totally like them, but they had resemblance to them. It's good and bad because obviously a lot of these people that are from Cuba, not really a fan of the country. That's probably the reason why that they're into Miami and not in Cuba. So you got to be careful with it. But it's how you learn to embrace and figure out, hey, would this be cool? Would it not be cool? Do we do this?
Definitely something that the Rams took into account and then said, screw it, because we're going to go modern with a retro color scheme.
I think the Commanders are doing the same thing. I think the Commanders
they're going back to what they used to have.
I think the Commanders are just not doing a full change, but they're just kind of dabbling. Again, here's the reason. Because everybody wants to be PC. Literally, they're called the Native American Guardians or whatever they're called up in Washington, D.C., which is the Native American group that's there, the advocates.
Yeah.
They literally, after the uniforms were released, said, don't go halfway. We want the Redskins name back. This is a Native American group, so this isn't Joe trying to be racist.
They've been saying this for years,
exactly.
Too.
They said it, that we want this. We want the helmets back. Don't just partially dip your toe into this. Go all the way now that the PC era is gone and we're past all of that. Well, we're past the freak out of everybody getting canceled for everything.
Are we?
Are you listening, Cleveland?
Are we?
Yeah, it's now one of those things of okay, you're dumb for what you're doing right now. Okay.
You don't deserve to be canceled.
Yeah, exactly. It's not one of those, he needs to be canceled. I
wouldn't say dumb, I'd say ignorant.
For instance,
a lot of ignorance.
For instance, you look at what happened during the Braves broadcast with the on-field reporter when he was joking around with the girls in the bar.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, how sexist is this? I can't believe this happened. But it's guys, look, he's having fun. People want to try to get him canceled and everything. And normal people that are not just wanting to overreact to everything was going, guys, he was having fun and it actually went viral. Good for him for being creative. If you don't agree, then you don't agree.
I thought it was pretty lighthearted myself.
It was extremely lighthearted.
Similar to what this show is all about.
Absolutely. How rare are we actually serious?
And you guys can hop in whether you're watching it on WZZN TV, on YouTube, X, or on Facebook, or if you want to call in 256-576-9877. That was a 4 Joe just said. Didn't sound like it, but
I'm going to continue to do it in just various ways.
That's fine. That's all for it.
I am.
That's all. I'm all for
I'm just
it.
All for 977. Yeah.
Today is usually a day we bring on a coach later on through the show. I'll tell you this, similar to all of these beat writers that are taking vacations right now, coaches are probably in some of the busiest times of the year outside of the football season itself because they are at these camps, OTAs, they're at 7-on-7s. I reached out to several coaches before this show. They are all doing just that.
Well,
we have kind of reached the end of the line with the coach segments, but we also have high school media days coming up right around the corner.
That was the thing, is if you look over the course of the next couple of days, you're going to have SEC media days coming up next week. And then right when we come back, the Monday that we are back from SEC media days, that is when we are going to have our high school media days at Toyota Field. So you're going to hear from a ton of high school coaches from around the Tennessee Valley as we all start to get ready for the high school football season. We talked yesterday about, I was thinking, man, UAH starting to schedule these games and we're starting to get all this going for the fall semester. Same thing for high school football. We are already starting to go, okay, this is where we start planning out, show intros, all this other stuff so that we can start getting the production part of this ready to go, because high school football season is coming up in the, August 22nd is when you're going to have that week 0.
And I'm very much looking forward to it, Joe. Another year of Sparkman with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we got to talk some Auburn. We got to talk some SEC as we look ahead to the ATL starting on Monday. SEC Media Days right around the corner, and you're going to have full coverage here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. So don't go anywhere because we continue on with the Blitz here on the show. I don't want to say 97.7 ESPN again, but I did anyway.
Winchester, WZZN TV.
Those other ones.
Those places. Cool.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today, 256-337-2625, or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. Much of the same this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We're also going to be talking about scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Temperatures dropping into the lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. Friday, essentially going to be a rinse and repeat. Partly sunny sky, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be stronger. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Atlanta Braves.
He cranks one high in the air to deep left field. That's going to fly away. It's a 3-run homer. And Sean Murphy off the injured list and onto the stat page with a 3-run homer off Zach Wheeler.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
But it's life I cannot change.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight, presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
You just heard it right before we came back from the break about the Atlanta Braves. They pick up a win last night.
They did.
It was actually kind of lovely. Like, it wasn't amazing. It was just lovely. It was nice to. I turned the game on the moment the pitch was being thrown to Acuna. Like, that was the moment that I turned it on.
It always starts with Acuna.
It does. And it's kind of fitting because he's playing the Athletics and Ricky Henderson, who was like the king of the leadoff home run. So there is it. And before we get to Ike Jones here in just a second, I just want to totally do this because I know that I can't do it any other time. Braves win last night. This morning, my Hanshin Tigers, 11 wins in a row. 11 wins in a row, baby.
Where's that? What's that? I gotta find the cheer button real quick.
No, I'm look. It's only time I'm talking about Japanese baseball today. 11 wins in the row over the Hiroshima Carp. That's it. I'm good. I'm done now. I'm done.
Good.
That's all it's it. But 11 wins in a row.
The Carp like to swim backwards. Either way, we do need to get into a conversation with Ike Jones because SEC Media Day is right around the corner. Very much looking forward to it. The first time I actually talked with Ike was at SEC Media Days. I believe it was last year. Could have been the year before. Honestly, I'm starting to get them all jumbled up, even though they're all in different cities. This is the first time it's going to be a rehash of a city in Atlanta, at least for me. And Ike, I want to know, man, going into it, like, what are the first things you are thinking are going to be asked to Coach Hugh Freeze? And what's the rhetoric that he's going to have to bring to media days to kind of ease everybody's worries, I would say, around this team?
If it's not a huge conversation, not just with Coach Hugh Freeze, but definitely in light of where the recruiting standings are, it's going to be about, what Auburn's approach is to this new landscape of NIL and revenue sharing and how it's impacted their ability to go out and recruit. They're going to have tons of questions about that. And then I think the second biggest question is going to be about Jackson Arnold in the quarterback situation.
Okay.
Because Jackson Arnold's coming with him to media day.
I cannot look if again, this is the reason why I cannot be in the same room with Hugh Freeze because I will be a total DB.
I don't
think we had this.
I don't think AJ McCarron can as well.
No, absolutely.
Oh, but no, AJ, like I think you guys are probably 1A and 1B of people who will not be allowed to ask any questions if the media team from Auburn has any say in it.
All right, well, good. Then AJ and I should be the ones that get to do interviews with him. If the first question with him, I would totally be like, have my hand raised. Yes, let's go right back there in the back. Hey, Coach, Joe Hunk, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Only question I have is, so how's the golf game? That's it. That's all I would ask.
I think the golf questions will happen, but he's going to be so dismissive of it that I don't like. If someone has the balls to ask, Joe Goodman probably will. If anybody has the balls to ask him about that, I think his response will be so dismissive that he's going to be like, I don't know why you're asking me about that. But thanks, I did really well the last time I was out there.
Yeah. See, that's what it would be. It'd be like, oh, it's doing pretty good. All right, next. Like he would just do something like that.
I think there might be a twist to it because isn't he also using it to kind of recruit as well? Is that something that's in his game?
What, a golf pro?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not privy to what kind of conversations happen out on the golf course with Coach Hugh Freeze. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, unless someone can tie that to what they feel is, low recruiting situation right now as far as the rankings, I really don't care how often he golfs. Like, just until there are wins and losses to be had there in the fall, then we'll look back and say, all right, well, maybe you should have been drawing up a couple more plays instead of teeing off on the 13th, right? I don't know.
Understandable.
Well, and then there's the question then. So let's hop right straight into that. What do you think about, obviously, the recruiting class, the numbers that are so low, everything that you just mentioned in that? Like, are you seeing any reason as to why that this is the case right now? Because we've always been told, especially over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, the trend has been that June and July have been massive recruiting months because players want to go ahead and commit before their season starts in high school.
Yeah, I mean, so it is a convergence of a couple of things that have not worked in Auburn's favor, right? So what happened with the settlement, with the House settlement that happened recently, and how the revenue sharing contracts are supposed to be going into effect for August have impacted the way in which conversations are happening with recruits about what money looks like. And Auburn's approach towards that has been different than some other schools have been. And those schools have been promising rather hefty contracts that Auburn's not willing to match because they don't feel like it fits within the constraints of what they interpret the rules to be. And so that's going to get hashed out by August 1st when the contracts have to start being signed. And so there may be a change in either direction from Auburn or in revelation from other schools about what those contracts do towards what their minimums are for the rosters and salary caps, all those sort of things that are going into place in terms of how revenue sharing is going to happen, right? That's number one.
Right.
Number two, there was a change in when the dead period is for recruiting. And that directly conflicted with what was one of Auburn's biggest recruiting weekends, which was Big Cat Weekend. So that's not happening this year because of when the recruiting dead period is. And I think the number three portion of that is really just around, kind of the tailwind of what was really not a good season last year for Auburn, right? So you have kind of a convergence of all of those things, uncertainty from recruits around what the revenue is going to look like and what the winning product could potentially look like from Auburn, and then the recruiting dead period being changed. All of those just kind of equate to a really terrible looking recruiting class right now for Auburn, and them trying to get their footing under them about what is the next step for them and how they can position themselves with recruits.
And one thing I wanted to know is looking at the team that's actually in his locker room right now. You got all of these wide receivers. It's definitely something special. You'd love to get the ball to them, but again, Jackson Arnold last year with Oklahoma, it didn't seem like that was the case. He wasn't able to get his wide receivers the ball as much as he would have liked. But looking at the running back room, something you would love to see utilized plenty like it was in the past with Jarquez Hunter. I mean, what all do you guys have? What's the confidence level look like with Damari Alston as well as Jeremiah Cobb and the rest of that running back room?
I think the only word that you can put towards the running back room is uncertainty, right? Because I think Damari Alston is a capable running back, but is he a home run threat? He hasn't proven that to be the case. And there have been some issues with ball security with him. Jeremiah Cobb just hasn't really had enough reps for you to get a good idea of what he is as a complete back. He definitely has the home run ability as far as speed and shiftiness are concerned, but can he be an every down back? And can he carry a workload like a Jarquez Hunter could? That's yet to be seen. And then everybody else, right? Like you've got Darrell Robinson, the transfer in from UConn. And Darrell Robinson has never been a bell cow type back. He was splitting reps with two other running backs when he was at UConn. Has the right running style to be able to run in this system. But again, uncertainty about how many carries per game you can give him and rely on him to be able to be somebody that can break out and give you a lot of yards in a particular game. And then you've got, true freshmen and walk on outside of that. So uncertainty, I think, is the only thing that you can really say. Talent, sure, but proven, haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. Ike Jones from the War Report is our guest. And flipping that offensive line could be a little bit better with this Auburn team. You look at those wide receivers and Jackson Arnold. What have you seen from that connection throughout the offseason that's maybe giving you a little bit more hope on how it's going to play out in the regular season?
I mean, there's nothing that I've seen in particular in terms of connection with the wide receivers, but what I can say is the talent is absolutely there, even from Jackson Arnold, who didn't have a particularly good season last year with Oklahoma. It doesn't change what I feel like his talent ceiling is. The question is whether or not he can raise the floor. And a lot of that had to do with just Oklahoma was a mess last year. Who did well at Oklahoma offensively last year? That wasn't just a Jackson Arnold thing. Their offensive line was one of the worst offensive lines in the country. That running game was terrible. They had injuries all up and down the offensive line. The wide receivers the offense was a mess just all around. That was not limited to Jackson Arnold, and it didn't start there. And so I don't know what to really make of what the true floor for Jackson Arnold is as of yet. But with the talent that he has in the wide receiver room at Auburn, you would expect the output to be better. But do you really know what it's going to be? No. Again, you go back to uncertainty, and that's we go back, take it back a step to the recruits. Like, how do you sell that to recruits when you don't even know? Who does know? Nobody does. We're going to figure it out, I guess, all together, but it doesn't paint a very good picture for anybody who wants to try to predict what Auburn's going to be this year.
Well, I will say they do look pretty good whenever you're playing college football 26, but you're the coach. It's Joe Hunk that's the coach. It's the Ike Jones that's the coach. It's not the Hugh Freeze that's the coach. So, I mean, that's the one thing that does bring a lot of uncertainty, Joe.
Well, and I know you follow me on X at Joe Hunk. Just go and look at the video that I posted just right before our show started.
Yeah, cool.
We did a stream yesterday just to have a little bit of fun, and we did the Iron Bowl. I'm just gonna let that one play stick for itself and speak for itself when we're talking about the running back group. But I say all that in jokingly. The Jackson Arnold, he's going to be heading to Atlanta, and it's the questions that he is going to field. Like, we know that these players get sat down, they're going to be kind of talked to about some of the things that they're going to handle. Is he going to get more questions about Auburn, or do you think it's going to be more about last year in Oklahoma?
I think the lion's share of the questions will be about his year of experience out there in Oklahoma. Now, he's going to get Auburn questions for sure, about what people can anticipate for this season, but they're all going to come off of the heels of something about what did you learn from your first year at Oklahoma? What's going to be different this year at Auburn? It's going to all be in that same, no pun intended, same hue of color that they're going to be painting there for him.
Now, to spin that into the season that Auburn is going into, this Baylor game, the closer and closer we get to it, you start to look at the way that this schedule is kind of looking for Auburn. Like, is it safe to say that the first game is a must win?
I wouldn't say must win, but so this is the way I've talked about it on our show. I don't know that Auburn has to win that game, but Auburn can't look awful in that game, right? You can't go out there and get mud stomped by Baylor. Like, and particularly, I don't even think that it's okay if you get, that first year under Hugh Freeze, you go out to Cal and you win 14-10. It can't look like that either. If you lose this game in Auburn, it's got to be a shootout, because it at least shows your offense has some competency, and maybe the defense needs to get better, or maybe Baylor's offense is just that good, right? Like, you can leave with some optimism if you're Auburn and you go put up 30 points, but you lose 30-34, and you say, okay, our defense has to get better, or maybe Baylor's offense is really good. That still leaves you with some optimism. You don't score points against the Baylor defense that really kind of looked terrible last year. I don't think people are going to have very much confidence in what it is that Coach Hugh Freeze has as a plan and Jackson Arnold as a quarterback.
So spin that around from a Baylor standpoint, because we talk about this a lot of times in the NFL. We know that Sawyer Robertson is the starting quarterback at Baylor. Trust me, they have a ton of star power in the Big 12. And so when we say that, though, his backup is Walker White. How much does that play into the game plan that Auburn has to come up with, being that Walker White spent a year in Auburn's room with that offense, and you don't suspect much will change between last year and this year as far as the plays?
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing that it would hurt you is like, because Hugh Freeze is kind of who he is offensively. I don't know that if Walker White weren't there, that there would be very many surprises. So unless they're going to line up and do some stuff that's drastically different, he was going to do what he was going to do anyway. So I don't know that it impacts anything other than maybe at the line of scrimmage, some calls, and he's like, hey, when they go blah, 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 that usually means this. And they're able to he's able to help the defense tip the hand as far as like on the fly calling, especially if they're moving in some sort of tempo and they're calling stuff at the line of scrimmage. That may be an advantage to the defense, having Walker White in there with that. But outside of that, I mean, Hugh Freeze is going to be who Hugh Freeze is, and you've got to line up and figure out how to stop that stuff. And so far, it hasn't proven to be very effective. So I don't know that Walker White's going to matter much in that regard.
So, are you going to be in Atlanta next week?
100%.
Hell yeah. It's going to be nice to see you again, man. Last year, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, Dallas came and went. Hopefully, we don't have to go there again. But if we do, I mean, it'll be an interesting time. What do you expect out of this year? There's usually a big nugget that is dropped, something that sticks with us a little bit more than other storylines that come out. What do you think that's going to be this year?
I mean, I think that the vast majority of it is going to be around two things that will be larger than a particular program. That's going to be this stuff with how NIL Go is working and how people are navigating that. And then there is a larger picture or conversation that's still being had about playoff format. Right now, Big 12 Media Days just ended. The Big 12 commissioner had his opportunity to speak, and he seems to be very contradictory of things that are happening over in the Big 10. And, Big 10 Media Days is yet to happen. There's some potential bombshells that are going to be happening there. Because there aren't any huge coaching changes that have happened in the offseason, you're not going to get a a Scott Frost moment like you did over at Big 12 Media Days out of anything here. But there are potentially, some landmines out there with player movement happening within the conference that could potentially, and if Diego Pavi is going to be there, then of course he may say something inflammatory because he just doesn't seem to care what he says. So.
I love it.
It'll be a lot of fun to hear what the Vanderbilt quarterbacks got to say. And, with what Commissioner Yormark said for the Big 12, do you think any of that will carry over? I mean, there were some bold things said right out the gates. Do you think any of those will carry over to the SEC?
Sankey 100% will get asked about it if he doesn't address it head on. So, yes, there will be some sort of conversation in regard to that at SEC Media Days. And Greg Sankey has never been one that has shied away from those moments of having something to say to address it. So I am fairly certain it will be part of his opening address. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how he talks about those things, because he's been pretty clear on what actually he's kind of waffled on his stance, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
at one point in time, it seems he was in one situation, then, the coaches were in a very different place and he wanted to back the coaches, but the athletic directors were in a different. So yeah, he's going to have some questions in regard to where he stands on what it looks like in postseason play for all of these conferences.
All right, before we let you go, because you brought up the Scott Frost thing, be honest, how crazy was it that he literally stood up there and said, what he learned is don't take the wrong job when it's literally his alma mater.
Right.
I mean, how crazy was that?
So the problem is not what he said, right? Because he's not wrong, right? The statement is by itself not a wrong statement. It is the additional context that he did not provide and the context that exists in everyone else's mind with what you just said. You went to school here, bro. So how is this the wrong job? You can't just leave that out here and not provide the additional context of what made this the wrong job for you, Scott.
Yes.
Was it the place? And you're like, well, you should not coach at Nebraska. Was it wrong for me at this point in time in my career because I wasn't ready? Was it wrong because, they were not ready to have me because he left it out there, you now have opened yourself up. Big Ten Media Days, again, going to be very interesting because the commissioner of the Big 12 basically contradicted directly statements that you heard from the Big Ten commissioner about we're moving towards a more pro model for our postseason stuff. And Big 12 commissioner's like, hey, I think college football needs to remain college football. And if anybody advocating for us to be like the pros is wrong. It's like, oh, well, excuse me. Oh, crap. What are we doing here?
We didn't hear it over the
Scott Frost basically was like, yeah, Nebraska sucked. And I hated I ever took that job. And now, what is Matt Rule going to say? Because they're going to ask him.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing is you start to ask the questions about Nebraska as a whole. Then, I mean, it's
right.
Well, and to be honest with you, Nebraska is one of those teams that because of the week that is this week and the new college football game coming out, you're like, rebuilding Nebraska would actually be kind of fun. It's one of those.
I hear you got a good quarterback.
Bottom tier of the Big Ten type thing. Okay, it wouldn't be that bad on it. But now you start to wonder, do they take what Scott Frost said and they start diving into the athletic department as a whole, kind of like what we do in the SEC when it comes to facilities and everything else and what they're committing to trying to be successful in the Big Ten in the state of Nebraska?
It's opened up all of that scrutiny. And as an alum of that school, as a former player for that school, why would you do that to your school?
Yeah, you're not getting invited back for the corn cob dinner.
I'm done. If there, I am, the football gods would grant so much pleasure to we who are in the media for there to be a UCF versus Nebraska game on the schedule in the next 2 years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be absolutely tremendous. I'm now wanting to go and find videos of their facilities and all this. I want to see about Nebraska, but at the same time, as you just went back to UCF, does that now mean that UCF is committing to do what they weren't doing in Nebraska because you want to be that program that because you're now quote unquote you're a Big 12 program? Do you now want to start committing those finances to making that university a Big 12 university?
Yeah, and so I think this is where it's going to become an issue for Scott Frost is if he's not going to win at UCF in this new landscape where he's in a bigger pool. You look like the idiot for saying the thing about the Nebraska job, right? Because it's like, well, Scott, it seems like it's actually you.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't win over here, and now that you're actually playing with the big boys in the Big 12 or at UCF, you're not winning here either. So is it the program, or are you just not ready for this big job?
Just seems like poetic justice. Great stuff from you, as always. Ike Jones from the War Rapport. Let the people know where they can find all of your work surrounding Auburn and all the college sports.
Yeah, absolutely. You can start at thewarrapport.com. That's the website. If you want to follow me on X, I am TWR Ike Jones. And we are at the War Rapport out there on X and Instagram. Definitely go over to the YouTube channel as well. Subscribe and check out what we've got going on. And on podcast, we are the Auburn Express.
Nice. It's going to be awesome next week. Going to get to see you, man. Hopefully we're neighbors. That'd be cool if we were neighbors like last year as well.
Yep, I will look forward to it.
All right, bro. Good stuff from you, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.
Good stuff. Ike Jones, the War Rapport. You guys can go and get all the Auburn information you need to know and so much more because, I mean, you heard him. I mean, he was able to keep the conversation going with whatever we were throwing at him, and that's why he is one of our favorite guests to get on. We got to hit a break. When we come back, closing out the first hour, heading into the second hour, phone lines open to you, 256-576-9777 here on ESPN Winchester, WZZN-TV, and you know who.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
NASCAR doubleheader in Sonoma, California this week with the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Shane Van Gisbergen, the minus 150 favorite. Connor Zilic plus 140. They finished 1-2 at the street course of Chicago last week. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 155 to win the Toyota Save Mart 350 on Sunday in the Cup Series. Van Gisbergen favored to sweep the weekend in Sonoma. Braves wrap up their series today with the Athletics as a $1.57 favorite over the A's at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento. Spencer Strider today for the Braves against J.P. Sears of the A's. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to owenappliance.com to learn more. That's owenappliance.com.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fire grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Much the same this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We're also going to be talking about scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Temperatures dropping into the lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. Friday, essentially going to be a rinse and repeat. Partly sunny skies, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be stronger. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Two 576 977. That's probably the most energetic that I've ever done that in my entire life.
Do it again.
256 576 977.
All right, that's enough.
Okay, just want to make sure we get that out. The Blitz, Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and always you can look into the studios. We're hanging out on WZZN TV.
Don't take the wrong job, though.
Don't take the wrong job, according to Scott Frost. That is the one thing that you do not need to do is take the wrong job. He's not wrong. Like, really, in all reality, though, don't take the wrong job just because of like the money they want to give you. And honestly, I can't blame Scott Frost for also taking the job at Nebraska. Okay,
I don't, because this would have been a school that he could have stayed at for 16 plus years. I think that he could have, if he found success there a little bit quicker, this could have been the school that he made known he was the coach of for the longest time.
Well, and I think that also you look at the job itself, like how many people in their life would not love to go back to their alma mater and be able to turn the program around and not only help them do what you did as a player, but also do more as a coach.
Well, most of us can do that in college football 26.
You can. I mean, again, you can.
But doing it in the real world, I mean, come on.
Look, man, I would love to go to like an alma mater of mine and be able to help change. It's part of the reason why I try to do so much with UAH.
Oh, UAH doesn't have a football team, though.
No, but they don't. But it was like with the baseball program, dude, I would love to do more with that just because it's part of the passion and being able to ingrain, especially in this era that we are in right now with NIL and everything else, and has much growth as the UAH program is having. Like, I'd love that. You know, any high school programs, all of that stuff. Who doesn't want to go back to their alma mater and do it? it's hard to say that you don't want to go back to your, alma mater, your hometown, whatever it is, and try to build it into something that you want to be great. Problem is sometimes it's not going to mesh up. I mean, is he wrong for saying that?
I think he's wrong for saying it out loud.
Out loud.
I think that is definitely wrong of him to say, but I mean, it's something that everybody feels, I feel like. You get a job, you think it's going to be great, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, wow, I don't really care for the boss. It's not going the way I thought. I think I'd be making more money. You talk to the internals about that.
Well,
you don't go external about this.
No, and that's the reason why majority of the time a job is open in the first place. Outside of, hey, this person just got a promotion to a bigger city or a bigger job or something along those lines. Like, there's a reason why the job is open to begin with. And so that's the reason why you do have to talk about it to the internal people and be like, okay, dude, I want to know what's going on. Like, this is the reason why a lot of times when you're looking for a job, people do go with people that they know, or a person will find a job with somebody they do know, because they also know that person's not going to BS them about what's going on, because they're having to work there too. Like, they're going to be straight with you. Oh man, this place is awesome. Facilities are great. Then you walk in and it looks like Joe's apartment. I know you don't know what that is, John. It is a movie made by MTV in the late 90s where a guy named Joe moved into an apartment and it was filled with nothing but cockroaches. It turned out to be kind of cool. How many other coaches, though? We'll continue this on the other side to be ZZN TV for everybody in Winchester. How many coaches can you think of took the wrong job?
I got a few answers for that one.
We'll continue. We come back on the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. Second hour coming up next.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Does it really matter which dealership you plan to buy from? Short answer is yes. Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. Taking a little time to find out about the dealership before you buy can have a big payoff. Customer reviews let you know what others think, and that's good. But industry reviews can tell you even more. Woody Anderson Ford is proud to have been selected as Ford's Triple Crown winner, an award that only 1% of the top Ford dealers in the country are able to earn. This is a big deal, and here's why. Ford's Triple Crown is based on superior customer service, sales excellence, and over-the-top service delivery. And again, only 1% of the top Ford dealers in all of America achieve this goal. Woody Anderson Ford is top of the top. So when it's time to pull the trigger on your next car, truck, or SUV, we'd be honored if you'd give us a chance to show you how we earned our Triple Crown status. Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
NASCAR doubleheader in Sonoma, California this week with the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Shane Van Gisbergen, the minus 150 favorite. Connor Zilic plus 140. They finished 1-2 at the street course of Chicago last week. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 155 to win the Toyota Save Mart 350 on Sunday in the Cup Series. Van Gisbergen favored to sweep the weekend in Sonoma. Braves wrap up their series today with the Athletics as $1.57 favorite over the A's at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento. Spencer Strider today for the Braves against J.P. Sears of the A's. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. Much the same this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We're also going to be talking about scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Temperatures dropping into the lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. Friday, essentially going to be a rinse and repeat. Partly sunny sky, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be stronger. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 97.7ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham. Nice. Sydney put a little bit more into it.
Nice.
You can as well by giving us a call, 256-576-977. With YouTube, X, Facebook, all of those places you can watch WZZN TV as we continue on this Thursday. And SEC Media Days coming up next week. We're going to be out in Atlanta. You can be out and be listening to all of our coverage, watching all of our coverage as well, interviews, everything. We're going to be making sure that all of those go up on our podcast, social medias, every bit of that, so that you can be able to enjoy and see that and get a little bit more insight and get just a little bit more excited for the college football season.
Oh, yeah.
That is just a little over a month and a half away.
It's going to be extremely busy, but I do want to remind you this weekend, Joe, okay, since it is a Thursday, we got to reference some of the high schools, some of the local coaches around the year. One of the local coaches actually sent me a text the other day, okay? It's Coach Ferrier from Hazel Green. And there's a Hazel Green High School Wingfest cook-off going on. So if you like cool cars, hot wings, then in 2 days, July 12th, they're going to be having that going on over in Hazel Green. So something to look forward to. I might be
to us about that.
out on location. He did talk to us about
that.
He finally gave me the update. And I didn't know there was going to be a car show. That adds on to the experience. I'm going to bring my camera. I'm going to bring my my bib, and I'm going to enjoy wings and really cool cars. So you guys can do that as well. It is on July 12th. So 2 days from now on a Saturday, it's going to go all day long. So look forward to that. Just wanted to
It's
throw it out there.
up in Hazel Green. What was the times for that again?
It's pretty much all day.
Okay.
Car show is going to be, I believe, from 10 to 3, 10 to 2. And then later on is when the wing show is going to have the wing contest is going to be going down. So I'm going to be enjoying that. And I got you covered on all that news, similar to Fleming Roofing and Restoration having us covered when it comes to the roof, as well as the sponsorship of the show. These are the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. Fill out your free quote today, and remember that Fleming always shows up. Now I just need somebody to show up for the sickness that I've got and maybe sit in for me for a day or two so I can get healthy.
That's hilarious. Look at you making jokes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, between the fact we just have the show tomorrow, then you've got, SEC Media Days next week, which is a, easy cakewalk, not any stress at all with that whatsoever. You're going to be good,
You know, one thing that always happens on SEC Media Days, it's either a little bit of a sickness, that's only happened once, or my wisdom teeth. For whatever reason, these things haven't gotten taken out or they haven't come all the way in. They start hurting immensely. So after my extremely long day being at SEC Media Days, I don't even get a good amount of sleep because my wisdom teeth are hurting so bad that they keep waking me up. You know what else is going to keep waking me up? The fact that we did not finish that football game yesterday, and you didn't save it either.
You can't save it.
There should be a way save it.
No, there absolutely should be a way that you can do, because in other games you can save in-game, make an in-game save.
Yeah.
And absolutely should be.
And I was coming back.
You were coming back because I did two very dumb things at the very end.
Well, I also threw an interception that didn't need to happen, and then my second interception also didn't need to happen, but I'm still getting used to the buttons.
With about... I don't know. Actually, no, we went straight to half. We finished it. We played one half of football.
It was like the last 15 seconds of that gameplay that we did yesterday. I came back almost and tied the game
because
up.
what we did is, and you can watch this over on our YouTube. We have it up over there. We did what we want to call Beat the Blitz, where John and I played against each other. It's again, very first stream that we've ever done that we wanted to do, showcasing the new college football 26 game. And after people voted, called in and all that, we went straight Iron Bowl. He was Alabama. I was Auburn. We did a coin flip beforehand where I won the coin flip. So the game happened at Jordan Hare.
It was a whole wallet flip.
It was a wallet flip because who has coins in 2025?
Bitcoins, maybe.
I mean, you can't flip those. I mean, you can just, it's all digital. So we were having the game there. Be honest, John, it was like 21-7 at one point.
No, it was 28-7 at one point.
My bad. 28-7.
It was kind of wild.
It was.
You
had
scored
a pick six.
It was 14-7. That's when the pick six happened. Then it happened again. You got an interception, a quick touchdown, and then it was like, oh, geez, just like, we're just having fun with this. And then I was like, I got to take this a little bit more serious. These Alabama fans are not going to be too happy with me. So then I go down the field. I score a touchdown. I run it quick offense. I get down the field and toss it up, and then the booth decides to review because this isn't Jordan Hare. So they're going to take a look at everything that Alabama does right. And then you come out here, Jackson Arnold feeling cocky, feeling very excited about this lead that you got. And then I decided to sack you right next to the goal line and pick up the fumble and take it into the end zone.
No, it was
28-20.
There was no taking it into the end zone. What happened is it was 28-14. And I said, all right, this is the final drive. And we only had like 10 seconds left as it was. It was the final drive. And I said, okay, well, if this is the final drive, then I'm going Hail Mary, going deep with Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, one of those two. Let's go with it. So I did a play action, and obviously Alabama's defensive line comes in and just obliterates Jackson Arnold. And in doing so, he fumbles into the end zone, and John falls on it to make it 28-21. And that's how the half ended out.
I told you it was very early in the game. I had a lot of time to come back, and I decided to do it all in the same video, in the same half of a football game. So, Joe, make sure, maybe do something to where you can cheat the game system and bring us back to halftime where it's 28-21 and I can actually win the game like I was going to.
And that's the other thing is a lot of games that I have, you can do in-game saves. Like if you turn Madden off, like without actually like just doing it, it goes back and it says, would you like to resume your previous game? And you're right back to where you were. Like you can do that, but you couldn't do it yesterday. And so we wrapped up the game after only playing a half, 28-21, because Tom's show was happening and he just kept calling and we just could never get things going. So that's how the very first Beat the Blitz happened. It is at the moment, it was 28-21. So not going to call it a win or a loss for anybody. We hadn't finished the game.
It was just fun. And it was just fun. A test.
It looked tremendous.
It did look good.
Atmosphere is amazing on the game.
We got to fix up the graphics for ourselves a little bit. But I think that the score bug for NCAA 26, it's an upgrade from last year.
Everything is much better than what it has been. And it looks, you didn't think that they could upgrade it, but they absolutely did. And so I told John beforehand, in the game, Jackson Arnold, 100% the best option to go with Auburn. And Eric Singleton Jr., if he's anything close to what he is in that game, then Auburn has an amazing combination with him and Cam Coleman.
One sec, Joe. Before we continue this conversation, one of the listeners sent me something.
Huge crash of lightning as Contreras kicked. And it's a balk. Wow.
It's a balk. Guy got scared? The pitcher got scared. Okay. Brandon sent us something on Twitter, Joe. You got to go and watch
I see it right now.
Go and watch it. Brandon joins us over on the phone lines. You guys can as well. 256-576-97.7. This is in Jacksonville, I'm guessing.
It's a jumbo shrimp game.
Well, yeah, it's in Jacksonville, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Jacksonville jumbo shrimp.
Okay,
game.
why'd you say no?
Well, no, because I was saying, you said, I believe it is. I was like, no, you're right. It is in Jacksonville.
Well, I was just looking at the training camp behind the field. There's the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Brandon, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Why'd you send me this? This is pretty funny. This is pretty goofy. What's up?
You have a massive crack of thunder and lightning, and everybody jumps, and they call a ball.
Even the ump is jumping. And he's going to be like, no, it's the pitcher's fault. He hopped off the mound.
Further proof that the balk is garbage and should be taken out of baseball. It is so subjective. It's worse than pass interference. Imagine telling a quarterback you couldn't pump fake throwing a ball.
That is true. But, I mean, at the same time, I look at it, if a balk was legal in baseball, I think we'd see a lot less bats hitting balls.
Well, it's because the way that baseball is created, that is once you begin the throwing motion, then it goes like he had to call the balk on it because he was in the windup, and this was for the Norfolk Tide, which is the AAA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. And you had to, because he was literally, D was in the air. He was about to throw home. Like, it was the strangest look and the strangest thing ever. But he also did have to call a balk on it because that is a balk.
And it's the worst part about it is it had the advance the runner at third as well. So it did turn into a run.
But here's the thing. And here's the thing about this, okay? And I'm not – this is the part that gets left out of every bit of this. Norfolk still won that game. They won 9-5. So the Thunder or the Lightning didn't actually affect the outcome. It affected his ERA. It affected somewhere on his stat sheet.
Maybe a dignity a little bit.
But at the same time, they still won the game over Jacksonville.
I'm just saying, when in situations, I've seen him call a balk because a pitcher wiggled his knee. And what? That's a balk? If you can't look at that situation and say, okay, this was extenuating circumstance, if there's ever been one, just wind back up. If you can't do that, there's something wrong with baseball.
Oh, and everybody was making fun of it at the same time. I love the fact that the manager for Norfolk came out and wanted to argue it. Like, dude, did you jumped on that? Like, how can we not just do like a dead ball? Like, let's, call it a mishap, something like that. Like, come on. And all the umpires saying is like, by the rule, I have to. The other question that I have about this, and again, I don't know all the circumstances with the game. Yeah. They're still all on the field. Like, did that not cause a 30-minute delay?
That's just Florida baseball, Joe. Come on, now.
Like, that also should have caused some delay at some point in time.
Oh, they would have high school football. They'd have made everybody evacuate the bleachers.
Absolutely.
Well, there's no metal involved on the baseball field. That's why.
To the Jason Aldean concert at say Turner Field, the Truist Park a couple years ago, and we had a couple of shots like that, and they wouldn't even let people sit in their seats.
See,
they made everybody evacuate into the tunnels.
So, and let me correct myself because I just looked this up because I was double checking that the information on it because the last update on the game was that there was a final 9-5. That game yesterday actually did go into a rain delay.
Oh, it got postponed.
Like it got postponed, so they're doing a doubleheader today. So yes, that right there caused the game to be paused at that point in time, and so they're going to make the game from yesterday. Today as part of game 2 of their doubleheader.
Had to end on a balk.
And at the moment, it's
he should just wiggle around on the mound and say he's doing a rain dance and it's not a balk. That's what I think he should do.
Yeah, smart actually.
I just saw that and I thought, how can we not get this right?
Well, and the rule basically is the rule basically is that you could do anything that you absolutely want to do until that moment where you have to pause for 1 second before going to home plate. If you do any motion that is not congruent with you going home, then that's where the balk lies. So the wiggling of the knee, that sort of thing, like you could even look at it. Even somebody like, Kenley Jansen, who has this extremely weird pitching motion, and you see him kind of wiggle his knee, you will see him pause for a second and then throw home, which is the reason for the balks part of this. So there's a pitcher the other day, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that got called for like back-to-back balks, and he kept looking, going, what the heck? Well, you can also see that he never pauses for that full second that he's supposed to pause. Like he continues, he brings his glove down, and as he's bringing it down to his chest, he then starts to go forward. Well, the pause was never there, so that's why the balk kept getting called.
Yeah, and they make you tip your hand by doing that, and it advantages the base runner. And that's why I say you shouldn't be able to do that.
No, I understand, but it's also a rule that if you didn't have it in, John's right, you would start to have some of the wackiest over the top.
It would be so much fun.
It would be it would be very much like Savannah Bananas, because I don't believe they have a balk in Savannah Bananas.
Oh, well, I feel like they shouldn't, because they got guys on stilts on the freaking mound throwing pitches.
We should play the All-Star game with no balk.
Well, they're already – look, here's the other thing. They're already adding the challenge system to the All-Star game next week.
Mm-hmm.
All this is going to do is piss people off. That's all it's going to do. It's going to piss the players off. It's going to piss fans off. Major League Baseball is doing this because they want to showcase it on a national stage where everybody is watching to show what it would be like. But what's going to end up happening is it's going to piss the players off enough because they're going, do you not see how good this is? And we've already been screwed over so many times this season. And now we're going to go back to not having this next week. And so it's like, this is all it is a tease. It's a tease. That's all it is.
Well, did anybody from the station get a credential for the All-Star game, being that y'all are an affiliate?
If anybody's getting one, it's Moulton. I applied. I know Moulton applied.
I didn't even get one.
Yeah, if anybody is going to be able to go to that, it's going to be Moulton. I'm extremely jealous if he does, because I've always wanted to go to the All-Star game, and it is in the Home Run Derby, and I've always been in a situation where I've been at SEC Media Days and never been able to go.
My wife has asked me to take her, and I told her that I don't know that even if I sold some internal organs, if we would be able to go for the price of what they want for the worst seats in the house.
Oh, no, this is, it's going to be astronomical at how much the tickets are for this.
I may be able to slide into the yard house there, being that we know somebody.
Yeah.
And be able to glance a little bit there. I may be able to pull that one off. So, but before I go, I wanted to run something by you guys because I know you'd appreciate this.
Okay.
Notre Dame's 2025-26 recruiting class now includes the sons of Jerome Bettis, Larry Fitzgerald, Jermichael Finley, Plaxico Burris, and Thomas Davis.
Wow.
Do we feel old yet?
Extremely old. And I also...
especially with Larry Fitzgerald. That man just stopped playing like a year ago.
Well, he played forever. Hearing that team just made me more nostalgic than anything. I mean, we're going to get to see these kids. I would love to see Frank Gore play on this as well. Junior. I'm talking about Frank Gore.
Here's the thing.
He's already on the Bills, though.
If you have, and this is a testament, man, if you have a team that former NFL players are sending their kids to, pay attention to that, because they know what they're looking for. They know that they're not going to put their kids in a bad situation. They know that they've went on the recruiting visits. They've seen the facilities. They know the questions to ask the coaches. Like an NFL player who has been through it all, they know what to look for. And if you have multiple NFL kids going to one team, there is a massive reason for that. And honestly, if you're Notre Dame, you should be using that to your advantage recruiting wise, because that is just a showcase to what they are doing with their coaching staff and with the university and the athletic department, because you have a lot of people that are in the know going to those schools.
And that's a testament to Marcus Freeman
1,000%.
use his connections.
I mean, again, you don't see him going to LSU with Brian Kelly. I mean, remember, he said you can't win at Notre Dame. And look at what Freeman's been able to do. So,
I mean, you're basically getting 5 thoroughbred studs that what their parents were capable of. You know they were trained right. And you get all of them.
Absolutely.
That is crazy.
And I mean, what was it? It wasn't Moss. It was it Chris Carter's son that went to Alabama?
Carter, yeah.
Yes. He went there. He screwed it up himself when he went to Alabama, but there's a reason why he and his father chose Alabama. Like there was a reason for that. It's because, again, Chris Carter knew the right school and knew the school that was going to put him in the best situation. It's the kid that screwed this up. Same thing goes for these kids. Like your parents, especially your dad, knows how to contact people and find out the truth about programs and everything else. And if that is the case and they're choosing that university, then that is telling me that everything that you are seeing, even though they lost in the national championship game, everything Marcus Freeman is doing it in a way that's going to be able to create longevity at Notre Dame.
All 5 of those guys' sons are at Notre Dame. Am I correct in saying that all 5 of them won a Super Bowl?
Okay, go through the full list again. I know Jerome Bettis did.
No, Larry Fitzgerald did not.
Fitzgerald never did. He made it to the Super Bowl, but they lost against the Steelers.
That's just the first one, I thought.
Okay, Jermichael Finley. I know Plaxico Burris did.
Burris did.
And Thomas Davis.
Burris is the reason why Fitzgerald didn't. I mean, I mean, it is. Not sure about Finley. I'm looking that one up right now. It is, let's see, if he won. Yes, he did win a Super Bowl.
So you got 5 kids who every one of them dads have been to a Super Bowl and 4 of them have won one.
Yeah, and the other one that didn't is a surefire walk straight into Canton Hall of Famer.
Somebody in Notre Dame, as much as I know Drew hates them, somebody up there is doing something right.
No, they absolutely are. Because, again, here's the other part to this.
Their helmets are just getting golder.
Their helmets are so gold, man. Like, what kind of polish do they use on those things?
They've just gotten golder, bro.
Here's the other part is let's be straight about these kids, too. They don't need NIL. Like, they want NIL. They may deserve NIL, and they're going to get NIL.
More impressive about it.
They don't need NIL. Like, they legitimately could go anywhere in the country, and they're not doing it for the NIL. And they're all choosing Notre Dame. That, and if they all sign, that's extremely impressive with what Marcus Freeman's doing.
Which leads me to a question. With Notre Dame and this whole situation about the revenue sharing thing with them being independent, I've not heard anybody talk about, how does that work for them because they're not part of a conference?
All right. And thanks for that, man. We got to roll. Let me look that up with revenue sharing in Notre Dame because they're not going to be treated as members of the ACC because they're not fully a part of that. So their revenue sharing doesn't go to that. They get everything themselves. If I remember correctly, the biggest thing about Notre Dame making it to the national championship game was the fact that every bit of the money that was going to them because of the slot allotment, they were getting 100% of that because they're not involved in a conference.
Yeah, I think that they're still getting paid the same amount when it comes to this new government thing that's going on with $20 million towards a team, but everything else, it's going to be interesting to see. I know TV deals might be a little bit different. We'll dive into that and a little bit more when we come back here on The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Uh-oh, Brett's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
The Atlanta Braves.
3-2. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. Let's go for a ride. Here comes Eli. Across the plate standing. Braves win. Never gets old, does it?
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, look at all the shell, make that thing twirl. Those in the clues, spinning those when it's spread. Digging real fine, standing by.
256-576-977. As we continue on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, where you can see John dancing to Yin Yang Twins.
I was jiggling for a little bit.
Now, this song, I want to say, came out when you were born.
I can see that.
Maybe I really want to say, yeah, I want to say the song came out when you were born. God, I have a story, and I'm not going to share that one.
I don't need to know your college story,
No,
Joe.
this wasn't college, man. This was high school. This was a high school story, and it involves that song. We continue. You can also follow us on X at 977 ESPN, as well as at Joe Hunk and at John Abraham.
We're also on Instagram, dude.
We're on the IG.
Yeah, we are. We have some highlights that go up over there.
That will probably be way more active next week.
Yeah.
Because you can put up a lot of videos and stuff next week.
Oh, I definitely will be. I'll be having a little montage of all the quarterbacks we'll see there. Diego Pavia will be one of them.
Get Jackson Arnold to throw you a pin. See if he can throw it accurately.
Oh, dude, he'll hit me right in the eye.
Hit the eye of the guy behind you.
On top of that, we'll get to see a lot of coaches, which we're seeing lists coming out. It's funny because right after we stopped talking about Scott Frost, a bunch of lists came out.
Because we didn't answer what coaches actually took the wrong jobs.
No, we did. We got sidetracked. Then we got thrown into the Notre Dame conversation after listening to what players they got. Which a large reason of why they have so much money, being independent and also being able to have success within the playoffs. A large majority of that money does not get shared. It just stays with the college itself. Whereas if you see other schools that find themselves succeeding, a small portion gets scattered throughout the conference. Well, with Notre Dame, they get to keep all of that. And then on top of that, the deals with CBS. Also, the revenue sharing, which is the $20 million that they'll get, which 75% of that will, in fact, be going to the football team. So it really is just a compound of all this money that they're going to be getting from the success last year, as well as all the success they're going to have moving forward, which the rich get richer, Joe. They just get richer.
Well, and because they are an independent. But see, the thing is being an independent doesn't always get you all of this because you also do have to have success on the field. They have a national brand. They're close to a major city in Chicago. They have a lot of areas that they are one in which they check a lot of boxes. Mm-hmm. Is this the reason why UConn isn't just rolling in all the money when it comes to college football? Like it's not just, they're independent. Well, they're independent and they're successful. Yeah. Like they win on the field. Okay, regardless if it's 9 wins, 10 wins, 11 wins, they win on the field. They are playing in the college football playoff. They're playing in a New Year's Six Bowl. They're doing those types of things. Yeah. That is where this comes in. The basketball program is making it to the NCAA tournament every single year. You've got the baseball program making it all the way to super regionals. I think they made the College World Series that year they beat Tennessee.
Yeah, they did.
Well, they did. Yeah, that was the year they made it because that was the super regionals. Mm-hmm. Like all of those things play into the success and the reason why they are going to have that money. So they're going to get the money that they have to distribute amongst all the players and the teams. But then any money that they make college football wise, that goes 100% to them as far as the allotments.
Yeah. And we're also talking about the $8 million, $4 million per game they get whenever it is in the postseason, which again, they had a successful postseason last year. It wasn't a complete success, but it was successful enough.
It's successful as you can be without actually winning a national championship.
Oh, yeah. Either way, I did want to hop into this before we get out of here. Of course, we got roughly 27 minutes left before we're done for today. But Joe, On3 came out with a list moments ago. All right. Ranking SEC coaches.
We'll stop scrolling on X then.
Okay.
If it came out moments ago.
Moments ago. That means it's hot. It's hot off the press.
It's the reason why I am not touching my computer because that means the next time I refresh, it would probably pop up and I'm not going to do that.
So obviously we love rankings. We did the SEC ranking last week. We've done quarterback rankings, but coaches, different story. All right. And this is funny because I'm seeing a lot of coaches that are kind of hot on the hot seat right now. Not hot in the way that it's good, hot in the way that it's bad. First things first, Joe, 16, who are you going to throw in there?
As the worst coach in the
Worst
SEC?
coach in the SEC based off of the performance of the last year.
Oh, that'd be Hugh Freeze.
It's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It'd be Mississippi State.
It's going with Jeff Lebby.
Yeah.
And, of course, it was a bad season last year. 0-8 in league play, 2-10. It was his first year. Let him have a little bit of time before you could just throw him into the fire. 15 already has me shaking ahead because I understand Jeff at number 16, but 15, you want to take a guess?
God, they put Clark Lee at 15.
They did put Clark Lee at 15. What are they thinking?
Dude, seriously.
It wasn't all Diego Pavia.
They are so much shade.
Come on. For a team that did 10 times better than they have in the last 7 to 10 years combined. For the entire organization, this was a plus. And you're going to put Clark Lee at 15. I'm upset about it. I think Nashville's upset about it. I don't think anybody else
knew about Vandy. They'd be upset about it.
I don't think anybody else is too upset. 7-6, though. I mean, where do you go from there if you're Vanderbilt? You
need to win 1 or 2 more games is what you need to do. You need to not lose to Texas at home. You need to, some of those games you shouldn't go on the road. I believe in lose to South Carolina. Like, you shouldn't do those things.
Yeah. Well, this is a team that definitely could go up from last year, but most times if a Vanderbilt team had a surprise breakout year, it's only down from there. So give a little bit more slack to to Clark Lee, not to Jeff Lebby. 14, Joe, who do you think?
Sam Pittman.
Hugh Freeze.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
There you go. Your cries were answered.
This is the reason why I love On3, man. This is where you go. On3 is the place to go. They know their crap, okay? They know their stuff.
Oh, just wait. We're going to get up a little bit
They
higher.
know it.
Sam Pittman's 13.
I was about to say, I thought Sam Pittman was going to be down there at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam Pittman or Hugh Freeze. Like, I would have interchanged those. And my next answer seriously would have been Hugh Freeze, in all seriousness.
Well, who is your next one? Sitting at 12.
Sitting at 12?
Long-time coach.
I would have said probably Mark Stoops.
Yeah, you're right. Mark
Okay.
Stoops sits there. His hot seat.
Why am I better at the fun John Abraham game than you are?
I never asked for it.
I'm just like,
and also this one's actually a little bit more cut and paste when it comes to the top, well, the lower half of it. Who's number 11, Joe?
I might say Brent Venables.
No, it's not.
Is it Billy Napier?
He's number 10. Billy Napier is number 11.
Okay, so I was about to say it was one of those two. It was Billy Napier or Brent Venables. So there's 11 and there's 10.
So now 9. I didn't really intend for this to be a guessing game by you.
Well, we've already went down this path there, my friend.
I've said a few of them just to you. Who do you think 9 is, though?
Okay, so I'm going through. Is it Elko?
Nope.
Then Beamer.
Yeah. Shane Beamer.
Beamer.
Look,
That's
a lot
9,
of it,
right?
A lot of it was one Mr. Lenora Sellers.
Well, it's always going to be that. Like, the thing is getting a good quarterback and developing them.
Well, that'll help.
Is part of the gig. Yeah. Why did Kentucky suck last year? Because they didn't have a quarterback. Don't have one this year either. But why they don't have a quarterback? Why is Alabama always good? Because they've had a quarterback. Was Texas good? They had you can't see a team that is in this Steve Spurrier, let's bring in 3 different quarterbacks and play. It's all because of the quarterback.
Yeah, we're outside of the era where you can find success with just a well-rounded team and a no-name quarterback. It's actually kind of sad. 8 is Mike Elko. You were right about that one.
I keep getting them flipped.
You do get them flipped.
Yeah, I keep getting them flipped.
What do you think 7?
All right, so 7, we're starting to get into ones that are not bad, but they're not the top of the top.
Not truly proven,
Not proven. So I'd put Heupel.
No?
Or Kiffin.
Nope.
Seriously, because it can't be Sark. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be Smart. Brian Kelly.
I think you're forgetting a school. Rawr.
Eli Drinkwitz?
Yes.
See, I put him up higher than that.
Yeah?
I look, I know that people make fun of Missouri because it's Missouri. Look at Eli Drinkwitz's history everywhere he has been.
I wouldn't put him up higher than that. I think 7's actually
so good as a coach.
7's the perfect spot for him. From what I've seen from him at Mizzou, I think 7 is a good spot because he's had talent. You saw what he got last year. it could have been better. The year prior, I think, was a little bit better. It showed a little bit more of what he could do with a team that is healthy, that is young, that is ready to play. Last year, the team wasn't as healthy. On top of that, they did not have the running backs that they thought they had. They didn't utilize the wide receivers they wanted to.
They were 10-3.
They could have been better.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They were 10-3 after being 11-2 the year before that. Like, we forget about Missouri because you just forget about Missouri. He has had 10-win seasons in back-to-back years with Missouri.
They faltered at the end of the season a lot more than you think, though.
Well, it's because they also had injuries to their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those losses was the main reason why the game was what it was because their starting quarterback truly wasn't healthy. He went out there for one series against Alabama?
Shouldn't have done that.
And he shouldn't have done it because we knew he wasn't going to be healthy.
He got knocked,
but we also
injured.
kept sitting here thinking that we were going to have some miraculous, Michael Jordan game from him. And it was going to be this, this quarterback that was sick and could barely play and he wasn't healthy. And he goes out, he beats Alabama and Bryant-Denny State. No, he wasn't healthy.
Doesn't happen in football. Does happen on the radio, though, because I'm here. Number 6, who do you got?
See, now we're starting. That's where I would put Heupel.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're to the coaches that actually have a thing or two in front of them. Number 5.
Kelly.
Kiffin.
Yeah, I was going to put Kiffin next.
Brian Kelly, surprisingly 4th.
Did we not? They weren't listening to the conversation we just had about Notre Dame, did they?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? This is where the Brian Kelly part of this comes into it.
Brian Kelly's not going to win a national championship.
No,
I don't think he could even get to the second round of the playoffs.
No.
This is a guy that had the talent with him the entirety he was at Notre Dame. He couldn't do it. He couldn't get the job done. He's just not a winner when it comes down to those moments.
He is a winner.
He's not a clutch winner.
He is the guy that you get before the guy.
Exactly.
He is your Grady Littles. He's that guy where it's man, he got us to the ALCS, but he can't get us to the World Series, and then you make a change. He's that guy. He's the one that is the builder that can get him back to having all the talent, but then it takes another voice to get him to that next step.
Yeah.
He's that guy. 9-4 last year, back-to-back 10-win seasons the year before that. He's supposed to have a quarterback right now that is considered one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the college football going into the season.
I'd like to say I would flip Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin, but at the same time, Lane Kiffin also had some of the same flaws that Brian Kelly's had, and also the defenses have still got a lot of work.
And that's the reason why I also look at Kiffin as Kiffin is a great coach. He knows how to develop the quarterbacks and get them in situations to be successful. That's where Eli to me is one of the best coaches in the SEC. I wouldn't put him up there with Sark. I wouldn't put him up there with Kirby Smart, but I would say 4, I could absolutely put him there. He is that good of a coach.
Well, you've gotten the list pretty correct this entire way through, so I think you could be able to figure this last 3 out. Number 3, who do you think?
DeBoer.
Yeah, you got DeBoer, and then you got top 2.
Sark, and then Smart.
It's 2 and 1?
Yeah.
You're right.
I was about to say, Sark is 2, and then Smart was. When you looked at me, I went, don't tell me they put Sark at 1.
No.
There's no way they could
Kirby
put Sark
Smart.
at 1.
Kirby Smart still has those national titles to go off of. So, this is a pretty accurate list. I'm surprised that they put Brian Kelly above Lane Kiffin. I'm also surprised Josh Heupel isn't a little bit higher. But again, there are a lot of talented coaches, and we're going to get to see all of them and get to hear from all of them during SEC Media Days next week. And you're going to want to be subscribed to the YouTube channel because you're going to get that full coverage as well as some interviews with those coaches. I mean, you better believe Tom's going to have Greg Sankey on, and then he's also going to have probably, let's say 4, 5, 6 of these coaches. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be able to hear from them as well, and maybe even I'll get to talk to one of them and say, so Coach Venables, how do you feel about being just on that top 10 fringe of On3's very specific SEC best coaches list?
So Ross Dillinger just put out some tweets about a memo that has been sent to all Division I athletic directors about NIL. It just got sent out yesterday. I'll tell you some of the interesting things in that when we return on the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as WZZN TV.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Final segment, best segment of the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunk, John Abraham with you for the next few minutes. Coming up at noon, the Thomas Abraham Show.
Hey, don't call him that.
Why not?
It's not his. I don't think that's his real name.
Is it not Thomas?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I should know this.
25 years of life over here.
Well, for like a large majority of that, well, the beginning of it, I called him Dad. I didn't know their real names.
Dude, no, my kids know my full name.
That's
and
crazy.
There's one that's 6. No, look, the 2-year-old. First off, the 2-year-old is literally like another house mom. It's good on some things.
Kind of scary.
Not good on others. We can look at her and be like, hey, can you go get your brother and tell him to come in here and eat dinner? And she'll stomp down the halls. Baba! Dinner! Like she'll do that. And then there'll be other times where I'm like, hey, Mom,
you know,
Mama,
I look up Tom on Google, and then I see what is the nationality of John Abraham, and then it's like Indian. There's an Indian actor and film producer.
Yes,
he's huge in Bollywood. His name is John Abraham. And if I ever, so this is the funny thing. Whenever I was watching, and I know you got to get to his story as well. Whenever I was watching the 24 Hours of Spa, I was hopping in the chat, joining in with all of the funny people. A lot of people that are actually there just because they're anime fans and they want to see the Hatsune Miku car. You know nothing about that. They were like, dude, big John Abraham fan right here. They were like, John Abraham in the chat. And it's like, guys, there's more than just one John Abraham. But I guess I kind of favor him. I look a little bit like him. I'm not as jacked, but or as successful, but I exist as well. So I appreciate the love.
Yes, you exist. The NIL exists.
Yes, it does.
The Division I athletic directors have received a nice little memo from the NCAA with some more guidance on NIL deals and how those are going so far since the new NIL Go program is starting to be used.
Yep. There
are 15. So it says in the very beginning, it says, since it launched on June 11th, NIL Go has seen broad usage. Over 12,000 student athletes and over 1,100 institutional users are registered and approved to use the system. And student athletes have added over 1,500 representatives/agents into the system in the past week. Around 500 students and 300 institutional users logged into NIL Go on an average day. Here's where it starts to wonder about how this whole program works. Over 1,500 NIL deals have officially been cleared through the NIL Go program.
It's a lot of money.
They have ranged from 3-figure deals to 7-figure deals in trying to get everything cleared. Majority of the NIL offers that have yet to be cleared are because they have not went through the proper follow-up questioning, and the businesses have yet to fill out the proper paperwork to send those back in to prove that this is a legitimate NIL deal. The memo also says that collectives can continue to use and pay out NIL deals if the payments that are made to the student athletes are provided with documentation establishing that the source of the funds were the entities with a valid business purpose that received the benefits of the students' NIL. Apparel companies, golf courses, all that sort of stuff. So it says, in other words, NIL collectives may act as marketing agencies that match student athletes with businesses that have valid business purposes and can get a student athlete paid.
There you go.
So part of this is because the student athlete hasn't proven what the true NIL offer is. And the business, somebody says that a lot of the reasons why a lot of this has not been, a lot more deals have not been approved is because the businesses have yet to return phone calls or emails and answer to the reason why they are providing the NIL funds for said student athletes. So there's a lot more hoops to jump through. So it's going to be interesting to see about how much of this happens because obviously these players want to get paid before seasons start.
Yeah, they definitely do.
So that's a little bit of an insight to how this NIL Go program is working as at the moment. But I'm going to be interested to see because now this is how every bit of NIL money is supposed to be going to the student athletes where they are being filtered through this NIL Go program.
Yep, there's a site already out there, nilgo.com, and you are able to sign in with your email if you're a college student. I'm not, but I will try to see if I can sign in with my UAH email.
I'm about to say I still have it. When I started work for UAH again, they're like, your UAH email is now active. I'm like, I don't remember what that was back in 2005. I am so sorry.
You had email back then?
Yes, that's how you got on Facebook, man.
Man, you might have had what is it? Hotmail?
I used to have Yahoo. Now the Yahoo ones for where like a lot of junk mail goes to. But no, when Facebook first got started, UAH was one of like the first 5 or 6 universities that they let in, and you had to use your university email.
Gotcha.
So it was
Pretty
like,
cool.
Hunk at UAH.edu or whatever it is.
Well, don't tell them because then other people are going to sign in. It's not like it's
active. I mean, it is active, but it's also...
You don't want other people to get your NIL money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All my NIL funds gone.
Oh, I'm about to be gone.
You are.
Laying in bed, sleeping. It sucks, though, because I'm looking at John Abraham from India, his workout regimen, and I'm thinking, oh, that's perfect. I can implement that. We'll be back tomorrow.
I love you.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new location